We are playing Grizzly Man, 1983 Alaska. During the salmon run, a deadly figure known as the Grizzly Man terrorizes a group of tourists led by Bob, an amnesiac former man in black. Survive the journey or become the catch of the day in this breathtaking pixel art interactive fiction with heart-pounding pace. Okay. I'm intrigued. Claudia, Chapter 1. You're more than 13,000 kilometers from home. From your friends, from your university campus, 13,000 kilometers. You think about the number and wonder how many miles that is. Chloe, a French traveler you met at a hostel in Fairbanks, taught you a quick way to convert it. Even though Chloe admitted her method wasn't exact, it was close enough. First, I'd divide the number by 10. 13,000, sorry. The next step is to multiply the result by 6. So 1,300 times 6. I have a calculator, guys. 1,300 times 6. 7,800. Yeah. You're 7,800 miles from home. Estimated. In a country with a different currency, another culture, another way of measuring distance. You met them at the same hostel as Chloe. Mike and Ava have been together for almost 2 years. I know. Hi, baby.
Hi.
See?
What?
You know they're from the United States, but you're not sure where exactly. When Ava mentioned the city they lived in, you didn't get it. Then you felt too embarrassed to ask again. Hi, Pookie.
Are you talking about me?
No?
Okay, cool.
Why would I be talking about you? That wasn't even related to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, but I'm playing a game. Because my favorite power outage queen is wild. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. So, here we are. Embarrassed, you think? Something none of you had felt even remotely the night before. Did I have a threesome? And now they were pushing you aside? Screw them. Who do they think they are? Hadn't they told you they were looking for new experiences? Or was it only when alcohol or weed could give them an easy excuse to do what they really wanted to do? I know, literally. Also, can we talk about really quick the new sub badges? Aren't they cute? It's a little baby ghost. Like, it's so cute. Yeah, I was like, we're doing horror. The badges should be horror. It made sense in my head at least. I don't know. I like it. And there are more. They get like progressively bigger and like they wear costumes, and I ranked the costumes in the order that I liked them. You miss your family. It's hard to admit, and as a psychology student, you try not to analyze yourself. They arrived at the clearing a few minutes ago. Mike took off his clothes and ran straight into the water. You started to unbutton your pants, and Ava looked you in the eyes and shook her head. Then she took off her clothes and stepped into the river. You wonder what's going on with Ava. Is she feeling threatened? Does she think your presence puts her relationship at risk? 13,000 kilometers. How many miles did you say that was? Far from home, you wonder what you want to do with your life. Go back to your ex when you get home? Graduate and set up your own practice? Seeing the salmon had been your idea. The salmon travel huge distances against the current to complete their reproductive cycle. Are you a salmon too? You feel your pulse quicken, and a void in the pit of your stomach. Do you want to have kids? Start a family like your parents? Your grandparents? You look at the stones and pick one. The bigger the size, the better the grip, the easier the movement. I don't know. No. Where am I supposed to hit? I didn't want to pick the big one. What? What? Huh? I don't understand this mini game. Oh, I get it now. You do them in order. Fast. Weird. Oops. Return to reality. Whatever. Whoa! There's a demon! Maybe? Yeah. That was weird. It's a second you live like an eternity. You want to scream, but you can't. Is that the Grizzly man? Just like thunder can't precede the lightning. You scream only when the light reveals what's going on. Run! Suddenly, everything speeds up. Time seems to regain its normal rhythm. And all that matters is that whatever that is, it doesn't catch you. The creature catches up and knocks you down. Wait, what? With violent circular movements, it breaks your ribs to widen the wound. Where are they? Oops. I could fix it. You feel you've gained a significant lead and look back. Where? The creature appears out of nowhere. Oh, salmon! A piece of your brain slides down the trunk of an old aspen in the taiga. The effort quickens your breathing. And with every exhale, the thoughts split. Shouldn't you shut down some cognitive function, let only the reptilian part of your brain take over? Focus on escaping whatever this is. The image of Ava assaults you like a revelation. Is it wrong to run? Would you run if it had been someone else instead of Ava? What would you have done if it were Chloe? Or your ex? Your mom? Or your dad? You hide behind a tree, trying to calm yourself. How could something like this be real? Could you be imagining it? Do I look back? What happens if I wait? Do I wait? Oh my god. Wait, the tea? The tea is spilling? I'm gonna do it. Run! You started running again, this time without looking back. You hear a sob nearby, and find Mike sprawled on the ground. Claudia? The branch piercing his leg points toward the treetops, as if trying to rejoin the forest. Ava, I didn't want to. You don't really know what to say to him. You think you catch a glimpse of shame in his eyes. But who are you to judge? You ran too. You hear a whistle, and something warm splashes your face. Mike's eyes are so full of questions just moments ago, spin backward like a macabre slot machine. Mike! You try not to think, but you know it's impossible. Mike and Ava are dead, but you're not. You're alive. You cling to that thought. The certainty of your survival seems to awaken something primal within you. Something stronger than any monster. And you run. You run like you've never run before. Glasses. The drama. The tea. El chisme. She's here. Robert, chapter 2. This is so interesting to me. A few hours earlier. Rob? Are you listening? Okay, honestly, if it were me, I would be like, huh? What? What'd you say? That's crazy. But like I feel like I should put my boy Rob, like he was listening, you know? I think he was listening, right? Men always listen when you talk, right? 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 No? Yeah? Yeah. Abigail furrows her brow. We love to pretend to listen. You know, it's not easy to fool her. And it doesn't surprise you in the slightest when she starts from the beginning. I was listening. There's an interesting group for today's excursion. 2 college students, a documentary filmmaker, and a traveling painter. If we made them walk into a bar, it would be like one of those jokes, right? Abigail sighs with resignation. In all the years she's known you, she's heard you laugh very few times. Ask about the students. Ask about the documentary filmmaker. Hannah, documentary filmmaker for TV. Quite the character. She wants to throw herself into one of the rapids and film it all with a camera on her helmet. She brave. She wants to what? The job will do you good, Rob. Oh, okay. An awkward silence fills the space, and Abigail tries to smile. Make sure she gets to the cabin. What she does after that is her business. You know, Abigail wants to help. She thinks these excursions could keep you occupied, but the truth is different. Ethan and Leo, 2 students from BAU. You already know how college students are. They see conspiracies where there's nothing but government neglect and clumsiness in the management. Johan, he's here in Alaska to paint landscapes. That's so cute. What? Can you believe he's only 3 years older than us? Nice group, huh? What if we tell them it's canceled? Can we do that? Is that allowed? Abigail starts gesturing. You hear the same old arguments. It's not worth clarifying that it was a joke. Abigail enjoys playing her part. I'm going to get ready. I really like the animation of this. You haven't been sleeping well for several nights, and it's not just about your father's death. There's an anxiety you struggle to put into words. Look at me. Who the hell are you? For a moment, you think the image is about to answer you. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise you if it did. There's a whole part of you you don't know anything about. Why aren't you saying anything? Are you waiting for me to speak first? Is everyone here? You hear a timid murmur and ask again, raising your voice. Are we all here? Hannah, the documentary filmmaker, Johan the painter, and Leo and Ethan answer with a little more enthusiasm. That's what I like to hear. Now listen up. The excursion is split into 2 parts. Today's part is a little easier, but not by much. Do you all have water? Good. I'm sure I don't need to remind you that Alaska is full of dangers, cougars, rocky terrain, and of course, grizzly bears. I'm asking that we all stay cautious, pay attention to every step, and stick together. We'll spend the first night in tents at the first shelter. The second night, we'll sleep in the cabin. We'll wake up, have breakfast, and after breakfast, you'll be free to do as you please. For anyone who wants to keep exploring, remember it's at your own risk. I'll take the truck back here. Anyone who wants to join me, the return trip is on us. But keep in mind, these hikes are only possible with everyone's help. Okay, he looks kind of creepy there. I'm sure you have questions, but there will be time to answer them on the way. You smile, but your smile is just a specific configuration of the muscles around your mouth. Though you talked about the dangers of the excursion, you chose to leave out the recent disappearances and some rumors you heard in town. Wait, I want to know about the rumors. Strawberry lemonade, so good. Whistleblower. Everyone was in each other's sheets back then. Sometimes even literally. Wait, what? Wait, huh? Huh? What? The CIA owes a lot to the U.S. Army. How much do you know about Mr. Morales? Interviewer. It's always the same with informants. It's like doing a cannonball into a pool. When you hit the water, your body pushes it out, creating a void. An informant's words are like the water, rushing to fill that void and splashing everywhere. Morales is a Spanish scientist, a disciple of Dr. Delgado. Morales ran out of MK Ultra's subprograms. Are we in a conspiracy? Are we bad? He wasn't so interested in LSD. Pardon me? Or sleep deprivation. He specialized in brain microcontrollers, just like his mentor. But Morales' experiments were far more ambitious. The army sent soldiers to Morales. Soldiers reported as MIA, missing in action. MIA as they call it. My bad. What did he do? I don't know. I think we're bad. And Morales would crack their heads open in the operating room to implant his microcontrollers. You haven't said a single word since the interview began. You always found it funny that they call you the interviewer at the agency. Questions aren't your sharpest weapon. Oh yeah, we did bad. It's the silence. Creepy. So I'm ex-CIA or something? Robert! Was Robert the painter? I don't remember. Robert! Hannah. Wait a second. You slow your pace and notice Johan's impatient gesture. Johan doesn't seem to tolerate the documentary filmmaker too much. You know Johan is a painter, and you wonder if it's a matter of chemistry, or if it has to do with Hannah's need to mediate every experience through the lens of her camera. She's just a content creator, you know? She's just honing her craft, you know? That's it. What do you think? The helmet is ingenious. The helmet's ridiculous. I mean, it's the 80s. It's kind of ingenious. We love women in STEM. It's steam now. They added arts to it, which I love. Um, you're a genius. Does it actually work? Hannah smiles. The design is mine and a friend's. We maximize the space. I don't know if you've seen the other helmets. They're usually bulkier. Can you imagine if we wore helmets like this at one of the uni parties? Leo bursts out laughing and punches Ethan in the shoulder. Watch where you step. I want to show you something. How many times have you made this journey? Have you witnessed other migrations in that time you don't remember? You notice the sky suddenly darken and think of Jamie, your father. Or is it Jaime? No, it's Jamie. Right? Jaime would have the... Yeah, never mind. If Jamie were here, he'd remind you of the pathetic fallacy, that literary device where the weather seems to react, reflecting what's happening inside the character. Jamie always talked about his books. What else could a widowed man over 65 do in Alaska besides read and drink? True. You shake your head to push away certain images. And think that if there's any truth to the damned pathetic fallacy, the clouds should clear with a gesture. Look down there. Are those bears? Hannah, Johan, Ethan, and Leo approach the cliff's edge. They spot 4 grizzly bears waiting in the river. The salmon migration is a key event for grizzlies. They need plenty of fat to hibernate. Why are they kind of cute though? Look at them. And survive the winter. Salmon is a rich source of energy, a high-fat food, especially the females who carry the eggs. The river's position is crucial. The strongest males claim the best locations, where the salmon are easiest to catch. The younger bears and females with cubs are pushed to less favorable areas. It's a constant battle to secure the top spot. A roar shakes the Alaskan sky. Anyone could mistake it for thunder from the approaching storm, but the earth-shaking sound comes from one of the oldest bears in the area, preparing to defend its spot in the river. The fight lasts only a few seconds, but that doesn't make it any less brutal. The oldest bear retreats, defeated. Gasp. What happens next? You know, most of them manage to adapt. They find a new spot to fish. But what about the few that don't make it? Do they just die? What other choices do they have? Did you know that when bears fight, they exert so much force that they end up shitting themselves? That's not true. Johan bursts into laughter, with Leo and Hannah joining in, barely able to hold it together. Even though Ethan admits it was a good one, he's still surprised by the group's reaction. Could there be more to that laughter than just a reaction to a well-timed comment? Unaware of what's happening with the group, you can't help but wonder who the glasses you found earlier among the river stones belong to. Uh-oh. A chill runs down your spine. Will you ever know what attacked you in the woods all those years ago? I was attacked. Wait, maybe I'm not a baddie. No matter how hard you try, you have no memory before Jamie found you. Robert, are you okay? You force a smile. Come on. We're close to the shelter. Dude, the chisme. The chisme. Robert. Chapter 4. I had to be like, V is 5. 1 in front means minus. Guys, should I have an energy drink? I think I might need one today. It's kind of cool. Easy out here. Okay. Do it. I'll grab it during the break. Hopefully after this chapter. You'll need it to wash this down? No. Wait. No. I actually can't. I need to refund you that. I can't. I've already packed it and it's. I'm sorry. I've already packed it. I've already packed it away. No, like, okay, literally look behind me. All of the, like, bins, the drawers are gone. Me when I lie. No, it's true, I swear. You guys know I'm moving out this weekend. Hopefully, everything will be out this weekend at least. That's crazy, though. It's crazy you would do that to me. Yeah. Okay. Fire brings two simultaneous and contradictory sensations. Heat. The first is the sense of safety. The beasts stay away from the flames. Well, okay. And the chill of the night feels absurd when wrapped in the fire's warmth. The second sensation is more complicated. Beyond the circle of light cast by the fire, it feels like nothing exists. But within it, the presence of the others becomes almost unbearable. It's not their stories about the past that bother you. It's your inability to share your own. After your father's death, it took you forever to return to his house. The idea of sorting through his belongings paralyzed you. Maybe losing your memory made new memories feel heavier. You left the chest for last. You always thought you'd find something embarrassing. Maybe a photo. Or some questionable erotic pulp novel. The tea? How you would have laughed if he'd hidden something like that. But no, you found none of it. Inside was a letter addressed to you. And alongside it, a white shirt and a black suit. In the letter, your father described the morning 12 years ago. When he found you in the woods. The night before he dreamed of Amelia. He dreamed of Amelia, her wife. Amelia stood in a clearing in the woods, trying to soothe a crying child in her arms. When Jamie woke up, he had a coffee with a splash of whiskey and set off walking. What? He knew exactly where he was headed. He reached the clearing and found you. Your head resting in a pool of blood. Jamie rushed to you and found you still had a pulse. So he carried you back to the cabin and cared for you. What he never told you was that on the morning you were dressed entirely in black, a dark suit, and a white shirt. He kept it from you because everyone in town knew the stories about men in black. What? You didn't respond for a month. When you finally recovered, you couldn't remember anything. Not even your name. Jamie called you Robert, and the name he and Amelia had chosen back when they still believed they'd have a child. Oh, that's sad. But Amelia had fallen ill when she was young, and they had to remove her uterus. Later, they considered adoption. But time passed. Amelia died. And Jamie was left alone. They would never have a child, or so he thought. Until the dream where his late wife showed him the crying baby in the clearing. The letter ended with Jamie apologizing to you. In the dream, the baby was crying. And no matter how hard Amelia tried, she couldn't calm it down. Did I do the right thing, son? Or would you have preferred something else? Oh, that's kind of sad that he asked that. The question echoes in your head. Would you have preferred something else? The fire crackles, and your eyes start to water. Ahem. You take advantage of the others looking at Ethan to quickly wipe your eyes. Want to hear a scary story? You force a smile and answer almost without thinking. All yours, Ethan. You're thankful for the college student in the group. You'd rather hear any horror story than have them start sharing personal details of their lives. That's insane. Valid. The one about the frogs? Leo points at his friend over and over. Ethan's going to be a bestseller, mark my words. Ethan waves Leo off and settles into his spot. This is the story of St. Olmos, the town that sucked down 10,000-year-old toads. What? The young writer pauses. He knows the title's solid. And he smiles as he notices the group waiting for him to continue. 8 out of 10 people worked in a coal mine. The rest worked at the bar, or on the fields, or at the police station. St. Olmos had 1 teacher and 2 nurses. No religious representatives. And the 3 mine discoverers made all the decisions for the town. Beto, Chico, and Ruben. The coal mines had turned these 3 young pioneers into millionaires. After 15 years, St. Olmos had a population of 133, one of the highest per capita incomes in the country. Chico organized the work at the mine. When they came across a hard wall in one of the main veins, Chico was the one who set the charges and detonated them. What happened next would change the town's history forever. I want to keep listening, bro. After the explosion, Chico went up to the hole left in the hard wall. Some fat, bumpy toads jumped out in all directions and started croaking. Chico screamed for order and told them to catch the toads without hurting them. When he returned to meet Beto and Ruben, Chico had 23 toads in a big cardboard box. Chico told them what had happened in the mine, and Beto said it couldn't be. Hayati, that it was impossible for the toads to have survived all this time. Chico opened the box and let them see for themselves. Ruben, who had always been the most impulsive of the 3, grabbed one of the toads and brought it close to his face. Ew. He looked at the colored bumps on its skin. Something seemed to take over him. He sucked it. Ew! And sucked and sucked. Brother, why would you suck a toad? Ruben dropped the toad and put his hands on his head. He started naming all 133 people of St. Olmos in alphabetical order. When he finished, he reached into the box and pulled out another toad. I swear, if you suck that one too. He sucked it and handed it to Beto. Chico grabbed Beto's arm and told him no, but Beto sucked it anyways. Chico tried to grab the toad from his hand, but Ruben appeared from behind him and struck him in the neck with the butt of the revolver. This is insane! Chico woke up several hours later. He didn't know where he was and slowly began to remember. In the streets, he noticed that almost everyone had a fat toad in their hand, sucking on it. Not the toad fetish. Chico ran to the police station. The armory was open, but he didn't find anything. He tried to calm himself. He heard some screams coming from the bar and went to see what was happening. The whole town seemed to have gone mad. There was no other explanation. 132 people formed a chain, heading to the east side of the mine. They all worked together in an invisible enterprise while alternately sucking those ancient fat toads. Chico followed them until they stopped. 5 stone idols formed a circle. The crowd began to crowd into the figure made by the idols. The idols shone in broad daylight. 132 inhabitants of St. Omos vanished in an instant. Chico managed to grab a fat toad that fell from a woman's hand as she disappeared. Alone and on edge, he started sucking the toad. Sucked and sucked. He collapsed to the ground, unable to hold back his tears. He kept sucking until nightfall and lost all touch with reality. The toad had stopped croaking a long time ago. A week later, a group of explorers found Chico's corpse clutching a toad with both hands. A fat toad whose eyes had popped out and its insides had spilled from its mouth. Ew. And you know what? The explorer's map didn't show any town called St. Olmos. Ethan clasps his hands together as if praying and smiles. You wonder what your father would think of Ethan's story. Dude, it doesn't even have an ending! I mean, I guess he's dead. That's the ending. Maybe Ethan's mistake is hanging out with people like Leo. Oh. People who praise everything he does. Nubian Boozle flavor unlocked. Got other stories. Beavers that built a dam with bones from an old Indian cemetery. An old woman who carves miniature reproductions of the townspeople from the wood of the oldest trees in the taiga. And creates unexpected butterfly effects with every movement of her knife. A goat whose bleep lures mountaineers, causes them to fall from the cliffs. Tell them about the siren thing. Is it Greek? Yes. Siren and goat share the same etymological origin in Greek. Oop, shit. That's enough. Oop, wrong button. You're about to apologize and head to bed when you notice Hannah rummaging through her things. At a film festival, I met a young filmmaker who makes horror movies. Okay. His name's not important. Okay. Hannah smiles slightly to the side. Ethan looks at Hannah with interest. The young student seems to have realized it's time to be quiet. You remember one of the things your dad used to say? A good storyteller knows when to listen. Well, that's interesting. Who knows, you think? Maybe Ethan has a future as a writer. This filmmaker was obsessed with a type of solitaire that only sociopaths play. What? Do you want me to teach you? I want to listen. How do I play? Objective left 7. Objective right. Cut. Wait, what are the instructions? The goal of solitaire is to make as many cuts as possible. I think you also win if you order each suit from king to ace. But that's much harder. Anyway, you have to make cuts trying to match the goal of each pile. The difference in the cut, whether you're short or have extra. That difference in each pile has to be greater than or equal to the card you flip over next for each of the piles. I know, it sounds complicated, but I assure you it's very simple once you get the hang of it. I'm confused. Cut left. Cut right. I lose. Okay. Deal. Fuck. Okay, so it has to be higher. Right? Pong, dude. I don't understand. But I believe in you. I'm so confused. The goal of solitaire is to make as many cuts as possible. That's much harder. You have to make cuts trying to match the goal of each pile. What's the goal of each pile? The difference in the cut, whether you're short or have extra, that difference in each pile has to be greater than or equal to the card you flipped. Next, for each of the piles, wait. Shit. Okay. Shit. Fuck. Well, I made it to like level 2, I guess. I don't even know. You lost because you ran out of cards. Sorry. My bad. Dude, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. I'm good. You wave to the group and tell them not to stay up too late. They need to be rested for tomorrow. Could all the stories you've heard about the men in black be true? You think about Ethan and feel a little envious. When a writer doesn't know something, they just make it up. I see why only sociopaths play that game. Wild. Whoa. Fish. Skull. Fish. Death. Fish. Where? The eggs. Orange. Dirty. Dirty. Soft. How much? Ultra. What was that? Something. How much? How much? Dirty. Dirty. Sex? The river. Where? All salmon. Orange. Soft. All salmon. Yes. Johann. Chapter 5. Guys, I think our man in black is the baddie. The art world has gone crazy. Critics talk about action painting. What the fuck is that? Jackson Pollock throws the canvas on the ground, paints whatever comes to him. That's weird. Accident, gravity, the gesture. Don't they realize the guy never leaves his studio to paint? True. The first time I saw a painting by Johann Christian Dahl, I was 7. The painting was called Stormy Sea. How could you not be fascinated by something like that? The foam against the rocks, the boat battling the waves, the 2 people watching from the top of the cliff. But of course, Dahl cheats in this painting. He tells a story with all the elements in the scene. How's that cheating? There's something artificial about the composition. What? My favorite painting by Dahl is Norwegian mountain landscape. The curves of the mountain formations, the mist, the water. No human presence at all, except for the one who painted it. So you hate people. Got it. There's something about that fresh perspective that draws me in. Something outside of time. Painting in nature, in solitude, becoming one with the elements, and fading out on the other side of the brush. I like paintings with descriptive titles. Stormy Sea or Norwegian Mountains Landscape. It's funny. Pollock even used numbers to name his works. That way the title wouldn't influence any interpretation. Using a number as a title for a painting. Are they so afraid of figuration? Maybe. Afraid that the audience won't see what they see when they paint? Or maybe they're afraid they can't paint what they see. Bro, are we tripping? You feel a certain lightness, as if suddenly the way you control your actions has changed. Oh, oh. Dude, this is math. I'm not a math gay. Bro, the appearance leaves you stunned, completely unable to move. You think about Bruno Liljefor's paintings, another artist who left a mark on you, and you remember all those hares he painted being attacked by different predators, one of the most recurring themes in his work. A thought spirals in your mind. If both the appearance and you were part of the subject of the painting, who's on the other side of the canvas now? Generate central. Recognize threat. The first step is recognizing you're in danger. Now, your brain can generate the order. Run! You run as fast as you can. The canvas is left behind, and the distance separates the art from the artist. What follows is a phenomenon you've experienced before. The painting condenses the actions into a single image. Inside the painting, everything seems excessive. The singular becomes multiple, and the sense and the self an infinite echo of your past. The poker moves at lightning speed. Oh shit, I died. When the creature manages to pull the weapon from your body, blood pours out urgently like someone reclaiming their freedom. Shit. Fuck. Retry. No. Okay, wait. I don't understand. What? What? I got that. I definitely got that. Wait. I don't even... It's so fast. Oh my god. Ah! Why am I so bad at this? The blow came dangerously close. But close to what? What's the limit of what you think you are? Is there more than one self? That self you believe you identify with? You think again about Liljefor's hairs. Were they all the same hair? Hairs about to die in the claws of a bird, victims of a fox's bite? Or maybe a poker. Why not? Run. You start running again, but this time you don't get far. Fuck. Poker's blade cuts through your sternum, poking out between your interpectoral groove. Human brochette. Dude, I'm getting so many. Attack. Hoya! There's something timeless about the image of those hairs. Something that updates with every confrontation. Check left bucket, check right, jump to the cliff. Oops. Blood hits the Tego floor, and you think you can hear a melody just before you die. Retry. Check left, check right. Stab with pencil. Jump to cliff. Do I survive? You finally think you understand what draws your attention to the hairs in Liljefor's work. The repetition is an illusion, because what repeats itself can always be experienced as something new. I saved art! Let's go! I mean, that's not his name, but okay. It only took me, like, 20 tries, guys. Only 20, I swear. I'm so good at this. I'm a gamer, trust me. None of you heard anything? What do you expect after smoking that stuff you gave us? And the paranoia? That was because of what Ethan said about the disappearances. And what about playing slasher solitaire? I don't know. Anyway, I slept like a log afterward. New disappearances during the salmon migration. You can't deny that's a good hook. You think so? I already have buyers for my documentary. You think running rapids is more interesting than the disappearances? Didn't you get anything I told you yesterday? No. And how do you expect me to understand? Your joint completely messed this up. Shit. I'm going to do something in first person that's never been done before. Is novelty enough? Hey. You decide to interrupt them. That's me. They've been talking too much already. You remember your father sitting in the rocking chair. A glass of whiskey in his hand and an open book on his lap. You writers manage to define secondary characters with just a few lines of dialogue. It's nobody's fault Johann disappeared. Unless... What matters now is figuring out where he went. You still can't understand it. How did the painter manage to get up and leave the camp without waking you? I think we're the bear. The tracks are still fresh. It shouldn't be too hard to find him. When you reach the cliff, you start to worry. You notice a second set of tracks, some variations in the depth of the disturbed earth. You scratch your head. If it weren't for the second set of tracks being human, you'd swear Johann was running from a predator. That's... Bro. What the hell? What, did you find something? You look at the mark on the tree trunk and try to piece the scene together. Oh, for fuck's sake. What is it, Ethan? Damn it. Why isn't anyone answering me? Will you chill out already? I just stepped in shit, that's all. You hear the roar in the sky and find yourself thinking about Jamie again. Is your dad up there following everything that's happening? Like he did when he'd read his books in the rocking chair? You've always wondered why he read so much when all he did was complain about everything. Reading's a good escape. We'd better head back to camp. It's nearly impossible to follow the trail now. And the rain's only going to make it worse. Why don't you just get to the cabin? But what about Johann? Something happened to him, didn't it? Maybe. He fell. Let's go back to camp. Come on. Leo shrugs. Ethan doesn't waste any time before starting to walk. The sky looks like it's about to crash down on them as they jog back, trying not to trip on the way. The last thing you need is for someone to twist an ankle. Oh my god, that would be so annoying. Hannah! Did Johann come back? Hannah shakes her head. I thought he'd be with you. Oh, that's rain. Duh. No, Robert called off the search. 'Cause of the rain that is now pouring. So now what, Robert? What's the plan, huh? Why are you so angry? You try to calm yourself down. Dude, just punch him. But the weather isn't helping. You think back to the pathetic fallacy. How the clouds can't bear their burden any longer. Finally burst. You think I enjoy organizing these hikes? You think I like spending time with strangers out in the middle of nowhere? Oh my god. He's crashing out. I've done that. Do you want to know why I do it? Do you? Because my father, who wasn't really my father, died and left me with debts so big that if I don't pay them, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Oh, that's a bummer, dude. Oh, did I? Oh, am I actually punching him? Let's go. Take a deep breath. That's why I do it. Who the hell do you think you are? You know about the disappearances. Are you okay, Ethan? Bro. Hannah looks at you and it's hard to meet her gaze. You know you shouldn't have snapped. Ethan's right. Something's happening and it has nothing to do with you. Where does that constant need to feel like the protagonist come from? True. Where are you going? Do I really need to spell it out? Ethan and Leo walk off a little. Their voice is too low for you to hear. Why did you react like that with Ethan? You know you're mad at your father. And that you'd give anything to hug him again. No. Go find him. I told him to wait for the storm to pass, but he went anyway. The scream chills you to the bone. What the hell was that? Ethan! You first heard the name Grizzly Man in a bar in Fairbanks. Like so many other tales from this region, it was thought to be the invention of some bored drunks with too much time on their hands. Wait, I'm not the Grizzly Man? That's crazy. After the Trans-Alaska pipeline system was finished, a lot of people were left jobless. Sure, disappearances happened, but there were plenty of explanations. Tourists who underestimated the dangers of Alaska's terrain, animal attacks, but nothing like this. The Grizzly Man felt like something ripped straight out of one of your father's books. What if it is my father? Books he claimed were full of mistakes, cliches, shallow character development, but that he still couldn't put down. Everyone's salmon. Let me go, you son of a bitch. Dude, you'll die too, idiot. Why are you like this? Fuck Ethan, he was a dick anyway. I'm spam clicking right now. Brother. Brother, let me save you. You don't want to go. Trust me. Trust me. Do I have to make it all the way to the left? Or is it again where I need to stay in the middle? Let me go. You try to pull Leo away from the scene. Look at me. Ethan is dead. There's nothing we can do. The creature and the body have vanished. The tea? The tea? In 1973, Helms ordered everything to be burned. But some people would never abandon their experiments, no matter what. With or without political support. The Alaskan taiga is full of clandestine research facilities. Good night, Val. Oh, timeline is murky. Wait, shit. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you for the follow. I hope you have a great night. Enjoy your sleep. Go have a great rest of your week. Okay. The unit's Morales supply to the Bureau handled the dirty work. Clearing out buildings, making arrests, ensuring the locals didn't know too much. But some of those units never came back. Some say one of the original MK Ultra scientists is still active in Alaska, experimenting with a chemical variant of LSD we have no official record of. Do you know why LSD is so important to governments? Makes you hallucinate. Peace, happiness, unity, and all that stuff. What? Because when everything goes to shit, you need a happy community. And it doesn't matter if it's artificial. You need them happy and obedient to rebuild society. That's actually such a wild take. Like, okay. Hannah, chapter 7. Ooh. Whatever you say, something's wild. Oh my god. You ran. You saw that thing tearing into Ethan's guts and you ran. The night before, you'd smoked with Ethan and Leo and then stayed up talking about what they each wanted for their future. Ooh. Ethan wanted to write novels, have them adapted into movies. That's kind of cute. But he also wanted to be praised by critics, by his peers. Leo, you're not sure what he wanted because he didn't say much. He mostly just listened. Though you suspect anything would do for him as long as he could be close to Ethan. Are they low-key, you know? And you? What do you want? Do you still want to be a well-known documentarian traveling from festival to festival like you once said? That'd be cool. You travel to shoot a first-person documentary on running some of the Alaska's rapids. You'd find a river where the risk of running into a grizzly was minimal. Then you'd edit the footage to sell that risk. Documentary realism was the perfect disguise. A fiction that hides its true nature to sell itself as something else. But now fiction is chasing you. Instead of facing it, you pointed the camera in the other direction. It's valid to be scared. What the? You try to steady your breath. Is that the cabin? And step into the foyer of a strange building in the Taiga. Looks like one of those levers that controls the power supply. It's gonna be tough to move. Use it anyway. I'm not. Exit, I guess. The lever is halfway there. They did it. You hear the sound of a generator somewhere in the strange building. Let there be light. And there was light. You don't know where the idea comes from. But it's so simple it surprises you. Like someone came from the future to tell you something the urgency of the present had kept hidden. You set the helmet down on a dusty table pointing at the door. You've always wanted to tell stories in your own unique way. Oh my god, your point of view. Is she taking a selfie to let others step into your world and share the experience? But this idea feels different. A kind of cinema where the lens never moves. A fixed camera that sees everything. It could be lying on the floor or resting on a table. You nod and smile. You're sure you're onto something new. Maybe even a whole new genre. Someday someone will find that camera. And they'll watch everything, like a god looking down from above. She's literally kind of crazy. Kind of eating, though. Not lifting a finger to save you or anyone. Use the cable. Maybe when the cable is closer to you. Struggle. Electricity surges through you with the intensity of a vision. And you see that nothing exists beyond the experience. Well, try to break free. The cuts aren't meant to be precise and you die in unbearable pain. Oh. Fuck. Held tight forever. Oh, I got it! I just had to time it. I was trying to time it and whatever. I electrocuted him! He literally put his whole fucking ussy into that camera and was like, hey girl, how you doing? Oh my god. Okay. Robert, chapter 8. Ooh. I need you to calm down. Before you picked him up off the floor, Leo had said he didn't want to keep walking. Did you see what it did to Ethan? It was like it was digging through his guts, like it was looking for a pair of socks in a drawer or something. You don't know whether to laugh or slap him. Honestly, both. I don't know where Hannah's gone, but I'm done babysitting all of you. You're all adults now, and you know what you're doing. Do they? You want to say more, but you choose to stay quiet. After all, Leo is still in shock from what happened to Ethan. And you? Why don't your hands shake or your pull race like Leo's? Have you seen worse things in that past you don't remember? Maybe. There's a phone in the cabin. You can come with me, or you can take your chances with that crazy guy in the bear costume. You start walking, but a growl stops you dead in your tracks. You recognize it instantly. It's the same old male bear from yesterday who lost his spot in the river to a younger one. Listen to me for a second. You speak in whispers with slow gestures. You know the grizzly can read any sudden movement as a threat. There's something in the animal's gaze that moves you. You're not sure what it is. A certain sadness. Like the giant bear knows something that goes beyond its own existence. Aww. The thought fascinates you. And like everything else that happens to you, you blame your father for it. Dude, you have such daddy issues. Even though you don't remember anything about your past, you can clearly recall every argument about his books. You were never much of a reader. Reading bored you. And if you ever listened to Jamie talk about his books, it was only because he wanted to spend time with the old man. Even if he slurred his words and fell asleep in the middle of a rambling thought. Most crime writers use it. The red herring. Have we talked about this, son? You can picture Jamie next to you pointing at the bear. You hold back the urge to reach out and tell him how much you miss him. If this were a detective story, the old bear would be the red thread that offers the most obvious solution to the readers. The old bear would be the one behind the disappearances. You're not some crazy guy with a poker gutting his victims like salmon. You take a deep breath and close your eyes. Life isn't a detective novel. It's something else. And the main thing is to survive. Just what your father didn't do. Leo, for fuck's sake. The bear charges towards you. Oh. My hands were on the mouse. That's my bad. Your guts fly out of your body with the same instinctive force as a salmon swimming upstream in Alaska. My bad, dude. Rawr. You moved too soon and the bear adjusts its charge. No! You did it. You jumped just in time. The pain floods your body with the urgency of an inexperienced lover. Rawr. Oh no! Almost unable to move. You watch the old bear gut the student. Everything Leo had been is reduced to the sum of his parts. Unlucky. You try to put distance between the old bear and yourself. How much blood have you lost already? With the last strength you have, you try to make a tourniquet. You lose consciousness. Shit. Retry. No! Oh my god. Wait. I did it. Oh my god. The tourniquet stops the bleeding. Let's go! Oh, he looks so sad. He's just a little guy. Sleep finally overcomes you. And you surrender to the mysteries of unconsciousness. Well, listen up, because you're not going to believe this. The U.S. Army hands over soldiers reported as MIA to Dr. Morales. Morales implants microcontrollers in them and transforms them. Into what? Can you guess? Into Men in Black. Get it? From MIA to MIB. Then there's a third kind, the MICs, which is probably why we're here, right? MICs are missing in control. They're the MIBs whose microcontrollers from Dr. Morales stopped working. I can't help but laugh at how obsessed the government is with acronyms. MIB, MIA, MIB, MIC. What are they going to come up with next? Anyway, a lot of people are hunting down MICs. MICs know too much. You don't say a word. You already know how important it'd be to have an MIC on the team. Am I MIC? Like, what does this mean? Chapter 9. Robert. You don't know how much time has passed. It's hard to make out the signals when everything feels like it's underwater. Is that an alien? You don't know how much about myths. What you know through what your father used to tell you. But you're sure Narcissus must have felt something like this. When he saw his own reflection on the surface of the lake. What? Ugh. Is that Hannah poking me with a stick? Oh, it's Claudia. Are you okay? Though you try, you can't form an answer. And lose consciousness again. The Lethis sun. The river of Hades where the dead drink to forget their past lives. One day, more drunk than usual, your dad had told you the rivers of Alaska belong to the basin of Hades, and that maybe that's why, by drinking from it, you couldn't remember who you'd once been. He, on the other hand, drank everything but water. That way, he never forgot a thing. You think about your dad with the empty bottle on the table, tears in his eyes, rushing to wipe them away, and the image hurts you a lot more than the leg does. Now are you finally going to tell me who you are? Robert, you'd like to say something else. After all, the young woman saved your life. But you settle for what you know, and tell her about the hike, about the group, and about the Grizzly man. Oh my god. The wound on my leg wasn't him, by the way. It was a real grizzly. Though that hadn't been your intention. The comment made the young woman chuckle. I'm Claudia. Nice to meet you. Claudia speaks in English with the formality of someone from abroad. Tells you about her study trip. You're surprised to learn she came to Alaska from Argentina. Argentina, a country you know only by name. He killed 2 of my friends, and though he tried, he couldn't kill me. There's something in Claudia's gaze that's hard to define. A magnetism that words can't explain. Claudia survived like you did. But for some reason, it seems like her experience was different. In Abigail's cabin, there's a phone line and a truck. Who's Abigail? A friend. Can you walk okay? You nod, and you start walking. Claudia's strength is contagious. You walk for hours without saying a word. And though you know life isn't like your dad's books, you feel like the cabin brings you closer to something that might resemble an ending. Who are you? Why are you in a tree? Why does he look so goofy? Robert, chapter 10. Yeah, got it. Fuck them. It'll take them a while to get here. You look out the window. The sky looks like a brain, all its synapses firing off erratically. Robert, I'm not staying here waiting for them to show up. The light comes through the window and casts a web of shadows across Claudia's face. You need to go to the hospital. The truck outside. What are we really? Are we what the light shows us? Or the negative space of what we don't know? How long has it been since anyone started it? That's a great question. At least 2 or 3 weeks. I'll start it up so it warms up. The keys? A feeling of guilt eats away at you. You knew Abigail had it secured. And to cover your father's debts, you'd once thought about making it disappear. A magnetic case in the back wheel of the driver's side. Okay. Wait here. I'll be right back. Shouldn't, I offer to do that? Wait. Girl, what if he's out? The Grizzly Man slams the door open. Oh! Everyone's salmon. The impact knocks Claudia off balance. And she stumbles backwards. No! You think of the 4 things you tell tourists if they come face to face with a grizzly. What do? Stay calm. Avoid sudden movements. Back away slowly. And don't make direct eye contact with the animal. Oh, wait, but I'm already doing that. This time you wouldn't follow any of those rules. I mean, he's not a real grizzly. Oh my god, I must struggle. Guys, I'm struggling. Guys, I'm struggling. Struggle. Struggle. Struggle faster, bro. You can do this? Dude, I'm spam clicking as fast as my little hands can let me. You know? Ah, no! Wait, can I start over? The Grizzly Man's too strong. Blood and guts strip on the floor of the cabin like the painting of some artist whose name you can't remember. Oopsies. Pollock would approve. I'm ready. I don't know. What is there a button that makes it easier? If I actually wait, I can use the enter key. Shut the fuck up. Guys, I got good. Guys, I got good. Let's never talk about how I was clicking with my mouse for that ever again. Ever. I never want to hear it. Ever. Anyway. Ugh. Struggle. Check the pockets of the pants. Check the cuff. Ooh, what's that? Stab with knife. Parts of your brain, even the ones that hid the secrets of your past, of the man in black. Splatter the floor of Abigail's cabin. Shit. Okay, maybe not. Check pants. Check cuff. So maybe struggle. You try to wrestle with the creature and die. Great. I'm so good at this. Struggle. No, okay. Wait, so I checked the cuff. Wait, okay, maybe I time it when his arm's up. So I stab his arm. Check the cuff. Okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Boom. Yeah! Got it. I like it. He need me? What is this? The WWE? I'm out. You try to stay awake, but the darkness creeps in with the force of a natural disaster. Where are the eggs? Too weak to move, and with your neck bent in a natural position? Think about your father. How reading had affected his posture. And just like him, hearing him grumble and complain, and laugh and cry, the only thing you can do now is watch the scene unfold, unable to get involved beyond your role as a witness. No! I can save her! Yes, Claudia! You got this. Claudia presses the sole of her shoe against the night. Oh, and she's wearing Converse? That's my final girl right there. And the wound opens like the gates of a dam. Ah! He screams, ah! Oh! And he falls on top of her. She crawls out from under him. She's covered in blood. Slowly, I think you have a fractured jaw. Ugh. We survived, Robert. We survived. And the son of a bitch is dead. Claudia tells the officers everything that happened. One of the officers gives some orders and helps you both out of the truck. Claudia would go with them to the station. They take you to the hospital to check your wounds. You try to complain, but the pain is unbearable, and you can't be understood too well. The son of a bitch had broken your jaw with a knee. And what hurts the most is not being able to thank Claudia for putting an end to the Grizzly Man. The end? I fucking said, are you sure he's dead? Girl. Man. I'm a survivor, though. I'm a survivor. I ain't gonna give up. Nothing can stop me. I'm a survivor. Anyway. Grizzly Man, a game by Nico Sorrenteras and Martinez Rupel. LCB Games. Shout out collaborations from Flavia Rivas and Laura Campos. Yeah. It was good though. I like the story a lot. It's interesting. The death scenes out of a fucking 80s horror movie, dude. It's so camp. It's so freaking camp. I liked it.